And they're off with a 4-note theme. I don't know whether it's slow or fast because it keeps stopping, folks. Doesn't seem to be able to get off the ground. But it does look like we're coming up to a cadence here. No, the violins didn't cut off. They weren't watching. Surprised they weren't called for holding. There's that 4-note theme again and another stop. Just cannot seem to get this off the ground. Tell me, Giff, do you think you would call that 4-note idea a theme or a motif?
Well, Pete, the technical term would be a motif that he uses to build a theme.
Thanks for setting me straight on that, Giff. Okay, we're heading into the second theme section here. We can be looking for a little modulation out on the field. Wow, did you hear that, Giff? Somebody in that horn section really flubbed that note. That has got to be one of the worst fumbles I've ever witnessed in all my days. I think that was Bobby Corno, wasn't it, Giff?
Yes, it was, Pete.
Well, we're going to be having an instant replay on that. Okay, that is no doubt. To me, there's no doubt about that. The referee has ruled in favor of the conductor. He has slapped a 30-bar penalty on the fending horn player, who is now on his way over to the penalty box.
That is Bobby Corno in the first chair. And that's the third major flub he's made this season, giving him a solo average for the season of approximately .247233, Pete, which is pretty darn low for a first chair person.
You think there's some chance he may be traded to another orchestra?
Well, Pete, it's hard to say. Corno is very good in the long solos, things like the Rachmaninoff piano concerto, so I think if he pulls himself together a bit, they'll keep him around. Although I suppose that...
Okay, we're off again now, Giff. The orchestra is playing without its first horn, which means we can be looking for a power play from the conductor pretty soon. Now, that's a pretty stiff penalty, isn't it, Giff? 30 bars?
Yes, it is, Pete. Although these bars go by pretty fast, it isn't really that much in terms of time. I think the longest that anyone has ever stayed in the penalty box was when George Zell played the Philadelphia Orchestra in 1955, and the entire French horn section spent the whole last movement in the penalty box. Of course, in spite of that, the Phillies came out on top.
That's right. I tell you what, Giff, I think we're getting into development section here. Let's see what happens after the double bar. Well, the horns are starting things off, and they seem to be in pretty good shape now. And I get the feeling we're going to be hearing a lot of that 4-note motif, don't you, Giff?
Yes, I do, Pete.
So do I, Giff. Well, they're probably stuck with that now for quite a while, so I think what we ought to do is take a little break for station identification.
This is WTWP, wall-to-wall Papa Bell, Hoople.
Okay, we're back now, folks. And there's something going on out there. It's really building up tension. The refs have come in and intimidate, and I think we're building up to a fugue. No, it is not a fugue, folks. The violins tried to make it one, but the basses just are not following up. Now, instead of a fugue, they seem to be taking that theme and breaking it up into little pieces. Just 2 notes left of that theme. It's getting softer and softer down there. I think they're running out of steam, if you want to know the truth. Getting just a little bit lethargic. Only 1 note left of that theme now, being tossed around from player to player. Wait a minute. Here come the brasses, trying to pep things up, a welcome relief, but I'm afraid to no avail. Things are still pretty soft. Wait, here they come again, though. They sound very determined. And I do believe we've reached the recap, don't you, Geff?
Well, there's no doubt about it, Pete. Your average Beethoven symphony usually has a recap after the second quarter, and this one is falling right in line.
Well, let's see if those violins can cut off with the rest of the orchestra here. Wait, this time it's the oboe holding the note. Well, she's playing a cadenza. She must be out of her mind. She thinks it's an oboe concerto. The conductor is protesting there. I've never heard anything like that. Have you, Giff?
I certainly haven't. I think it was a disgraceful display of lack of teammanship. And I wouldn't be surprised if I was there.
I was attacking Jacoby.
Can you believe it?
The referee has had to separate them. I'm telling you, you don't want to mess with her. You know, I think we're going to have a ruling now on that. How about that? He has ruled in favor of the orchestra. I guess that cadenza must have been written in the part after all. And there's a delay of game penalty, a 34-bar penalty against Jacoby, who is now over in the penalty box himself. And he'll be lucky to get back in time for the second theme. Well, I guess Highwood knew what she was doing, Giff.
She usually does, Pete, and this time she not only scored a personal solo, but she also made it possible for the orchestra to recover from Bobby Corno's fumble there in the exposition.
That was a bad one, too.
That was
I think we're ready to resume play now. The referee has given the captain of the orchestra the sign. And okay, they're off. They're off again. They're doing pretty well. I think they're really making up for lost time. Anyway, we're into the home stretch here, folks. We've got the second theme coming up, and we should be in C minor right up to the last double bar. Jacoby is back on the mound. Hey, this is really something, Giff. You know, this piece is billed as being in C minor, and yet it looks like it's going to end in C major.
It's really something, Pete.
It is something, Giff. And I think it's going to be... wait a minute. I think we have an injury in the bass section. The referee has blown the whistle, and the referee's blown the whistle is what he's done.
Well, it looks like it's a groin injury, Pete. That's what happens when the bases get too close together.
He's on his way out.
You know, management is always trying to save space, especially in the bass section, which usually contains some of the biggest players in the club. And sometimes they just squeeze them just a little bit too close together.
That's what happens, right?
And this is the result. Now that's broad contrast.
Now, I tell you what, we've got a substitution in here.
He looked like he was in pretty bad shape.
He looks like he's
Where
from a
did
different
he go?
league, if you ask me.
I think you're right.
The referee's putting him into position there.
Okay, got it. Ron.
Oh. Now listen to that. I think this is going to be a whole new ball game, Giff. Okay, they're getting ready to resume play now. And we're off. The orchestra only has a few more bars to go for a first downbeat. Things are really beginning to roll here. They've added all the woodwinds. They've thrown in the brass and the timpani. And it's tooty all the way, folks. They've got a great drive going on out there. It looks like we're coming into the home stretch, eh, Giff?
Well, Pete, it's been a good match.
It's been a very good match indeed. Wait a minute. The brasses are taking the theme. They are not letting it stop. Giff, this piece is definitely going to go into overtime. I can tell that. And let me tell you that nobody knows where this theme is. There's a lot of running around down there, but nobody knows what the theme is. Believe me, folks, it's very exciting. Okay, the crowd is going wild. They've got a new theme going on out there. I can't believe it, Giff. Do you know where this new theme comes from?
Well, Pete, it probably comes from, I don't know.
Thanks a lot, Giff. You're a big help. Well, they're tossing it around now. The woodwinds have it, and then the strings. Nobody seems to be able to keep his or her hands on that theme. Believe me, folks, the people in the stands are just as confused as the players. Wait a minute now. The strings have got a hold of things. The strings have got a hold and they're not going to let go. What's this? It sounds like another recap. It sounds like they're going right back to the beginning. If this is true, it's the first time in 40 years of concert casting. Wait a minute. Those do sound like final chords, though. We are watching the referee, and that is it. That is the end of the match.
Beautiful. Wow.
Okay, what a match, huh?
Unbelievable.
That was one shot of adrenaline. Okay.
I mean, they put